We are live. Welcome into the Rumples of Red. We are live on YouTube. We're coming to you through all your podcasting, Apple, Spotify, Google Podcasts. My name's Trevor Steinbacher, an avid fantasy player for 12 years. And today, along with my good friend Matt, we're going to spread the joy, a little bit of heartbreak of fantasy football to all of you. Matt's going to join us today as co-host. As we're trying these new things. We're trying it out. We're going to see how it goes today. It's a whole production. We've got a new intro music. We got an audio drop that we've found. It should be a blast. And before I turn it over to Matt, if you want to be a part of this, if you want to help us continue to be able to be on Squadcast, continue to be able to come live to you on YouTube, help us out. Be a sponsor. Email me at therumblesofred@gmail.com. so we can continue to be live. Matt, this is going to be awesome. Loving the new intro music. We're going to get started with our big red survivor pool. Make sure we update everybody. 10 survivors left. 3 weeks left going in. And this week, we've been losing a few each week, but this week in particular, we have 4 different survivors who have chosen a game all by themselves, which means we could have a winner coming out of this week. The Rams and the Titans are the top favorites this week. Both picked 3 times. Rams are a 17.5-point favorite, so we're not surprised they were picked quite a bit on the Survivor pool. Follow me at Trev's Fantasy Pod on Twitter. I got a new Facebook page, at the Rumbles of Red on Facebook, and we check out our new YouTube page. Today we're on my personal YouTube page, but starting next time we will be on the Rumbles of Red YouTube page. So go ahead and subscribe there. Check us out. We're looking forward to that. We're going to start out with Bets from the West. It was a new segment that we started last couple weeks ago, I guess it would be now, huh? So we're going to start with the Bets from the West. Matt and I got a big matchup this week, so we're going to talk a little bit about that here in a little while. Didn't start well for me. Matt's kind of got a head start there after last night's game. And we got a little red six-pack for you today, talking a little daily fantasy. So let's get into it. Let me tell you the story behind Gunsmoke GSPS. Gunsmoke GSPS, German Shorthair Pointers, is located in the heart of western Kansas. It started with an old soul and the love of a TV show, Gunsmoke, and the main character and male, Festus. He's just as cantankerous as the old deputy. But he is the most hardworking dog. And Miss Kitty, well, she's their current female and of course a fan favorite. She can be just as sassy sometimes, but is always mindful of her elder. You can follow their journey, see up-to-date hunts, other information on their social media outlets. Instagram handle is at Gunsmoke GSPS, or join their Facebook group, Gunsmoke GSPS. And a little bit of snow on the ground, right? Well, before we hear your spread, I gotta say we've got our first YouTube live chat from El Hombre. I think that's what we'd call it. Drew is on there. Welcome, Drew. Thanks for joining us. Let's go. Hopefully we can help you today win your semifinal matchup that I know you and the sister got going on this week. All right, Matt. Let's go right into your spread of the week. Yeah, I don't mind that. You know, and the Browns also, I guess the Giants technically have something to play for as well. But this time of year, I really like to target those teams who have a lot to play for. And the Browns losing last week to the Ravens pushes them down in the wild card a little bit further. I don't think they're in dire need. It's not like a must win for them, but it is a position that they need to win the game, and I could see that happening there. What about your total of the week? This is something we try to look for on the Best from the West. We're looking for one spread and one total. Where are you going to go for total of the week?
So what are your thoughts there?
Hang on.
We just started over recording.
We got issues. What a crap show. That's all good. Well, we've got a little issue here. Looks like you're still recording, but I am not recording. We're still on
I have
live
no volume
on YouTube.
from you.
I've got to trying to fix my mic. Can you hear me now? Nothing? Well, they can hear us on YouTube, but not on here.
How's that?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
There we go. All right, we're good
So
now.
that was all my fault. I pulled into the YouTube channel just to see, and I pulled up the YouTube channel and I muted the YouTube channel so our audio wouldn't screw up, and it muted everything. So anyway.
Well, we should be good here, except for now it's not going to record. But we're still good on YouTube. He can hear both of us now. I unplugged my mic, so we're good there. If I can just get this thing to start recording on my end, we will be back at it. Sorry for the... This is our first time, so we're just rolling with it here, guys. Just gotta bear with us here.
I need to double back on our game total.
No, I heard it all. It's just not recording me. I think this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna drop out, and we're gonna pick up a new one, and hit record, and we'll be good here. Like I said, we're still live on YouTube. So YouTube followers, bear with us. We're going to work through this here real quick. Start a new session. Again, we are getting back on here live. Sorry for the confusion. We'll get back here to you. Gotta get him pulled back up here. If you're watching this after we are live, go ahead and skip down a little ways, and because this took a second here, but we are sorry about that. We're getting it pulled right back up, and we'll get right back to you. So sorry about the change. Apologize there. We did just hear Matt's total of the week. He's going Colts Texans under 51.5 points. We'll hit that record button here. He is now the fair-minded synth. All right, and we're back recording again. Sorry about that on YouTube. Again, if you're rewatching this, we just ended with Matt's under 51.5. If you are on the podcast, we just had a little glitch with the YouTube page, or with hearing Matt on YouTube. So I think we've got it all fixed now. We are back going. And Matt, let's just jump right back into it here. And let's prop it low now. What do you got for your prop of the week?
Oh, that's an outstanding intro segue. Going back to Houston, Indianapolis, Jonathan Taylor. I think this guy's going to be something special. It took a little bit longer. I think they finally given him the reins, so to speak. Not really going to go with his rushing total, though. We're going to go with over 2.5 catches. 3 catches is what we're looking for here. He has had 2 or more all the way back since week 3. So I'm not even worried about that. I think at best, the worst case scenario, he gets 2 here. Prop bets, you cannot buy half points or points. The prop is what it is. So now he gets Houston. They're like 30th or 31st against the run or against running backs in general. And more importantly, Hines' role is slowly decreasing. Hines is still going to be catching passes, but what we're looking for here is just volume, snap count, Taylor being on the field, and he's slowly becoming that third down back. So I like Jonathan Taylor over 2.5 catches.
We like that a lot there. And so again, the whole mix-up, it kind of went from they couldn't hear you on YouTube, so that's all right. We'll get this thing figured out here as we learn. And again, before we jump into our teaser, Matt and I got a couple games here we want to add to a teaser, but if you want to help us continue to be able to do something like this, please reach out at therumblesofred@gmail.com. Looking for somebody just to support a little bit of a sponsorship, you may, to let us go live on YouTube at least once a week, maybe Fridays. We'll see how it goes. But we can't do this without a little bit of help from our sponsors, a little bit of help from the Rumbling Clan. Drew says he can hear us both. We are rolling on YouTube now. We're finally, 20 minutes into our first time, we figured it out. Like, it is what it is. We're here. All right, let's
pretty good odds.
Let's build a teaser for the Rumbling Clan. Let's kind of go back and forth here, and I'll let you take the first one. What do you want to add to a teaser this week?
Yeah, before we dive in, just to recap, we've done 2 of these now. I missed last Friday. Real life stuff kind of got involved. I think overall on our bets, we are 50% basically. And then on our teasers ourselves, we've done 2 6-bet teasers, and I think we went 4 out of 6 on both of those. So, we're close. I like this week's. We've only got 1 total between the 2 of us here as we dive in. But I will start with the Packers minus 2.5. This is, I don't know if we can get 2.5. Probably not. This is probably going to be 3, which I'm not a huge fan of laying whole numbers, let alone a minus 3. But the Packers have been a part of our teaser both times now, the previous 2 weeks. And Trevor's going to talk about some of these whole numbers and stuff as he gets into his. But anytime we can get a big favorite under a field goal, or even a bigger favorite, like let's say the Rams, for an example, if we could get them, they're 17. If we could get them at, say, 6 or under that touchdown value, you've got to really like that. And that's what we're going for here on some of these teaser picks. But we'll go with the Packers minus 2.5 against Carolina. Got to like them to be able to win by at least a field goal. So that's where I'll start.
Nice. That's a good start there. Saturday night game. And as you'll see, this is going to actually be a Saturday and a Sunday teaser here. But I think, I like that. Packers ought to blow them out there. I'm going Buffalo. They're sitting at minus 6. We're going to 6-point tease that down to a pick 'em over Denver. Denver's not. They're not a football team. They have beat all 3 AFC West teams AFC East teams that they've faced already, which is a little surprising. But I don't think they'll beat the Bills. And honestly, if you put a name like the Chiefs or the Patriots on this Bills roster, I think that they would be a 14-point favorite in this game against Denver. The Chiefs were, I think, 12.5 against Denver favorites, and the Bills are only a 6-point favorite. This team is really, really good. I think they continue to be underrated, and they're going to beat the Broncos. So, yeah, if I can move that down to a pick 'em, I'm taking it.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think the Chiefs even opened up as a 14 that week and it actually got bet down. So you're talking about 8-point swing on two teams that, if we lined up the Bills and the Chiefs on a neutral field, you're probably talking about Kansas City being a 3.5-point favorite, something like that. So, yeah, really like that. Get back here. So my next one's going to be Washington Redskins plus 12. So we're going from a plus 6 to a plus 12. I actually looked at this bet as my spread of the week. I mean, I understand that Russell Wilson and Seattle's they're good and they just blew out the Jets, but Washington is not the Jets. That defense is for real. Russell always has had kind of a below average offensive line here. I just think that that's a really big number. And I'm all in favor of making it even bigger. So Washington plus 12. I would even wait to maybe make this bet, and I think we could probably get closer to 14 as Sunday gets closer. So something to keep an eye on.
Well, we don't want to wait too long because, well, one, we got to get this teaser in before Saturday games, and two, I'm taking the other side of that, and I think this is a fine place, and I don't know if we can actually make it into a teaser. And if not, we can look elsewhere, maybe a total. I like Washington plus 12, but I also like being able to move that down to Seattle just as a pick 'em.
Yeah.
I don't think Seattle blows them out. I absolutely agree with that, but I think that Seattle can win the game. No Alex Smith potentially. Washington, they've been really good, but they're not healthy right now, unfortunately, at the wrong time of the season. And I'm not exactly sure if our site would allow that, but if so, this is what I'm going Seattle, moving that down to a pick 'em. Plus, we're going to add Washington at plus 12. So all we're looking there is for Seattle to win the game by 1 to 11 points. And I think that can happen, and I think we would be fine sitting there. So I'm going to take that Seattle minus 6, moving it to a pick 'em. And while you're giving us your next pick, I'll punch it in and see if it'll let us do both.
Yeah, let me know because I've got a 4 spot that I can pivot to really easy to give the Rumbling Clan a full six game teaser here. So let me know what you find out. But this is probably the definition of a sucker bet. But we've got a 40.5 total amongst the Steelers and Bengals, and you just do not see that very often. So I'm going to push this up to 46.5 and take the under. I just think, Vegas is right. The Bengals are not good. No Joe Burrow. Everybody knows that. The Steelers defense is the real thing. That's just when Vegas puts a number out like that, and then you can go above and beyond it and get yourself a 6-point cushion. It's not like we're taking a 53 and pushing it to a 59 like a Rams Chiefs Mexico City game. Like, this is just a knockout divisional game. I love pushing a 40 to a 46.5.
Yeah, that Steelers defense, it's a get-right game. We talk a lot about offenses, get-right games for offenses. This is a get-right game for that Steelers defense. They've been shredded the past couple of weeks. Could be great for them.
They've got to be a little bit angry, you would think, blowing that number 1 seed now and all this talk about the most overrated, undefeated team. And then, so I think you're right. I think it is a get-right deal.
Well, I have confirmed we can do both. Seattle moved them to a pick'em and Washington plus 12, so I love that. I think we stick right there with this week's teaser.
Yeah.
And I'm going to add Arizona. They're sitting at minus 6.5 right now. I'm moving them to minus 5 here. I'm just going to look at it, make sure it's still at minus 6.5. Green Bay is still at minus 8.5, so you're good there. Buffalo's minus 6.5 now, so it's not a pick'em, it's a 0.5, which is what I'm moving Arizona to right here. Just giving you a live update on that. And the reason I'm moving Arizona to a pick 'em or -1/2, we know Philadelphia just beat the Saints last week. We know they're rejuvenated. They've got Jalen Hurts. Great. But a defense that knows or can see a quarterback like that every week is Arizona, because they're against Kyler Murray week in and week out and practice. They know how to scheme against a quarterback who can move just like Jalen Hurts can. I don't think it's going to throw this defense off as much as we saw it do against the Saints. Now, the Cardinals defense is not nearly as good as the Saints defense, but I do see Arizona still winning this game at home. Huge playoff implications as they're trying to go for that wild card. Moving that down to a half, it's nearly a pick 'em. I'm going to take the Cardinals at -1/2.
When we see this all the time in the NFL, it's just a natural overreaction. This is Hurts' first true start. Defense, NFL, or whatever. Cardinals have had 7 days basically to prepare for this. This is the game that you expect him to throw a couple interceptions, probably get run around and sacked a couple times. It just seems like a normal script. They come in. What did he come in? I think he started the second half. Led him to a victory. Whatever, looked so good, and then now there's been a week or 2 weeks to prepare for him, and I just expect a kind of a nasty game from him, to be honest.
You got the last pick for us here, or was that the last pick?
That was it, man. That was our 6 points there.
Which one did I miss? I was going to put it in here and see where we're looking. So we got Seahawks at a pick 'em, Washington at +12, Buffalo at 0.5, Green Bay at -2.5. Oh, I don't have your Steelers Bengals in here.
There you go.
Let me throw this in here real quick. And for the Rumbling Clan, we are on live on YouTube. I see it there. You're going under 46.5. We're live on YouTube. If you're listening on the podcast, please go ahead and subscribe on the podcast. Give us that 5-star review if you can. If you're on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe. Leave a comment. Chat us up if you'd like. We got Drew's in the chat giving us some feedback. He doesn't like the Haskins call. Thinks it's going to be an interesting game. Man, if Dwayne Haskins starts that game, it could get ugly, but I don't anticipate it with that Washington defense. So we're at this $5 teaser is what we like to put in. Winning us $27.5, which is what our other teasers has done. So it's always at +550. Go ahead and, tail if you'd like. I think Matt and I both play this, try to get a little money each week. And again, like Matt said at the beginning, we were 4 out of 6 the first 2 weeks. I screwed it up big time the first week. Matt and I both missed one last week. But we're gonna get all 6 this week. So follow us if you will there. And I think this is a good time to go ahead and remind the Rumbling Clan that you like picking games, you like betting, you like trying to choose who's going to win the game. You can join us in our playoff pick'em. We already have a really good amount of momentum going. Entries have been coming in fast and furious. We got a couple entries last night. Again, I've been tweeting it out, just trying to spread the word. The more the merrier. The more the higher the pot. Enter now, playoff pick'em. It's simple. You just pick the games. You pick who's going to win each game. And if you go like our sponsor on our sponsor's Facebook page, SM Auto Detailing, you can enter for just $5. We only have a couple of those spots left, as many people have been taking advantage of that. Join us this playoff season. Give yourself another chance to win some money. Get your car prepped for winter with SM Auto Detailing.